If you want to learn how to generate 1 to 2 qualified sellers every single day with an ISA, check out this video. We're going to go through the top lead sources, dialers, data, and strategies that are working right now in 2024. Let's jump into it. If you want the latest tips and strategies on what's working right now in outbound prospecting, online marketing for real estate, please crush that subscribe button. We release a new video every single week. It's 2024 and we need to generate more listings. Folks, nationally, we've barely recovered to about half the inventory levels we had before the pandemic. That is crazy. The market is starved for listings. Outbound prospecting or cold calling is one of the most profitable ways to generate sellers in any market. The only lead source that's probably better than that is calling your own database, your own sphere of influence. The challenge there is that it is very difficult to scale and to add leverage. With prospecting, with cold calling, you can scale it much more easily and add an ISA to help leverage your time and make it more valuable. An ISA for real estate can help you double down on your prospecting, generate more valuable conversations faster, get you in front of more motivated sellers than ever before. One of the first things you need to get started with outbound prospecting for your ISA is selecting a dialer for them to use. Now, folks, you've got many options out there in the marketplace right now, but I'm going to show you some of my favorites that are getting our clients results right now in 2024. One of the biggest technical challenges that prospectors face right now in 2024 is low contact rates. Folks, the anti-spamming technology, anti-calling technology that's out there on Android, iOS, on the different cell phone carriers is getting tougher and tougher every single day. It's harder to talk to people now than only a few years ago. Everyone doing outbound prospecting is facing this challenge. That's why the dialer that you choose has to have excellent technology to maximize the chance you're actually going to talk to people. The dialer also depends on the lead source. Some folks think that the more lines you dial at once make your calling sessions better. Folks, that's not accurate. What makes a calling session better for outbound prospecting is talking to more people. And sometimes for higher quality lead sources, that means dialing slower, not dialing faster. Even dialing one by one can actually get you talking to more people than putting a 10-line automatic dialer plowing through different numbers and dropping calls left and right. The kind of dialer that you select is also going to depend on the lead source you're calling. If you're calling a massive list, like a circle prospecting list that has a ton of numbers in it, then it makes more sense to get a multi-line dialer. My preferred multi-line dialers are in Prospect Boss and Call Tools. Prospect Boss is a lot easier to set up and manage. Call Tools is much more scalable. There are teams with hundreds of employees that are utilizing Call Tools. Check out the links below so you can see for yourself. If you're calling a shorter list, a higher quality list, like expired listings, for sell by owners, absentees, you don't need a massive power dialer for those. Folks, you can get by with just a single line dialer. Sometimes whoever you buy the data from already has a single line dialer that you can use. What we recommend is to use dialers like RingCentral or Vonage Business because they have features that can help you counteract and talk to more people even if you're dialing one by one. Once you've got the dialer in place, then you need a list. And more than a list, you need a strategy. Depending on your lead source, you're going to have a different approach. For example, one of my favorite forms of prospecting that I used to do when I was an agent is circle prospecting. I liked it because you had a relatively infinite number of people you could call every single day to generate new real estate conversations. Circle prospecting can be done in many ways. You can do a just listed or just sold campaign, calling up neighbors and telling them, hey, we just sold a property at 123 Main Street. We have a lot of buyers left over. Who do you know that might be thinking of selling? You can also just do a regular geo-farming campaign. Let's say you don't have any listings in an area. Just focus on high-value areas. Maybe someplace a lot of your buyer leads have asked about. Do a geo-farming campaign in that area and call up potential homeowners and tell them, hey, I've got multiple buyers that I'm working with that are looking for homes in this area. Who do you know that I should know that might be thinking of selling in the near future? How about yourself? Another great lead source you can use that can be very underutilized in your market are absentee owners. Now, these can be great leads because a lot of them are mom and pop owners that might not be enjoying being landlords. Folks, in 2024, we're going to see a record number of new rental units hit the market across the United States. Guess what? It's going to put a lot of pressure on rental prices. A lot of current landlords might be thinking of cashing out and diversifying that investment. Give them a call. Reach out. They're going to appreciate that because most people that call them are investors. They're wholesalers, they're flippers that want to get the lowest price possible. Give a call to absentee owners and let them know right off the bat you want them to get the highest and best. If they got a great offer, would they consider selling that property? Last but not least, you've got the tried and true lead sources for cold calling, and those are expired listings, canceled listings, and for sale by owner listings. All of these can also be done to generate sellers. And for these, your ISA can also add a ton of value. But I want to add one caveat. When you've got an ISA making calls to expired and FSBOs, most of all, you've got to understand what is the key role and the key value that the ISA brings. In my model, in my opinion, the model that I've seen be the most successful is what I call shaking the tree. The ISA should call expired, cancels, and FSBOs and do the job of finding out if they have any desire to sell and whether they're ready to talk to an agent that can get the job done. They shouldn't be setting listing appointments for you. It's too early in the process. These lead sources are much more challenging than the ones I mentioned before. The sellers can be much more combative, especially for sell by owners. What the ISA should do is make the calls and just ask them the question. If they got a great offer, would they still be interested in selling, right? Is it about time that they spoke to a professional that can get their home sold for more money and less time than what they're currently considering? That is the highest and best use of an ISA. They should be calling every single day to generate one or two qualified seller leads. What's a qualified seller lead? Confirmed homeowner with correct contact information that has questions and curiosity about selling their home. When you're doing outbound prospecting, that's what an ISA should be focused on. When you're doing cold calling, the ISA's job should be simplified down to that. Generate as many qualified seller leads on a daily basis as they can. Their job is to fill your pipeline with known, motivated sellers that you should be talking to every single day. Then it becomes your job as the real estate agent to re-qualify those leads, see where they're at, and nurture them until they're ready to set an appointment and get that listing signed. Folks, it really is that simple. Whoever has the most real estate conversations with sellers on a daily basis is gonna win in any market. If you have an ISA generating potential sellers every single day, your job just becomes following up with them, contacting them, qualifying them, having these conversations over time and making sure your pipeline is always full with sellers that are ready to go, some that are just getting started, and everyone that is in between those two. When it comes to data sources, the ones that I've seen the most success with are Vulcan 7, one of the biggest names in the industry. They're famous for having the most accurate data for expireds, for canceled, and other kinds of leads. If you're talking about geo leads for circle prospecting, I think that RedX has the best geo leads product out there, and they have tons and tons of data to do that kind of prospecting. For a more specialized list, like absentee owners, downsizers, even things like probates, I would look at the Share Group. They have a brand new online lead store you can check out, and they're friends of Power ISA. For all of these different vendors, please check out links below. With all of them, we have affiliate partnerships that you should know about, because we don't recommend anyone that we don't already see having success with our clients. Folks, those are the top strategies and tools that you need to get started prospecting for sellers using an ISA in 2024. If generating more listings is part of your business plan, consider adding an ISA to your strategy so you can crush your goals for 2024. Thanks, and see you on the next one.